Good evening and welcome to our Roseville Joint Union High School District Board meeting for October 12th. I see we have nobody here to speak from the public, so we'll ask for a motion to approve the agenda as we have it.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Motion and second, good. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, that passes. We're going to go ahead and go to closed session. Well, hello, welcome everybody. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Just prior to this meeting, the board met in closed session. We have no reportable action from that meeting. Next item is meeting protocols. I know we don't have a whole lot of public here, but we'll go through this quickly here. Everyone has an opportunity to speak on each item on the agenda. If there's a subject matter that you want to speak to that's not on the agenda, you can speak under open forum. If we have less than 10 people, like it looks like we have today, you'll have 3 minutes to address the board. Please remember that if you have a complaint about a specific employee or employees of the district, those complaints should be made to the employee's immediate supervisor or the school site principal as outlined in board policy and administrative regulations. If you do want to speak, make sure you fill out a comment form in the back of the room. I'd also like to remind you that we don't condone the use of profanity, vulgar language, gestures, or any other inappropriate behavior, including personal attacks or threats directed towards any meeting participant and/or district employee. Our next item is our board objectives, which board member Marla is going to read.
All right, Roseville Joint Union High School District Board Objectives. Prepare all students for life, college, and career. High-quality academic opportunities, supporting students' physical, mental, and emotional health. Work in partnership with families and the community. The school is a welcoming, safe environment that serves as a center of student learning, activities, athletics, and performing arts. Promote a sense of community in the school and surrounding area. Utilize effective governance and business practices. Remain open, transparent, and accountable to the community. Serve as an employer of choice with the highest quality teachers and staff.
Thank you. Our next item is board reports. Ludmilla, would you like to go first?
Good evening. Glad to be back. I just wanted to share something. I visited Friends and Family Night at Antelope High School last week, and my son is in marching band, and it was the first time I saw him in his uniform, and it kind of took my breath away a little bit. So it was really wonderful, and it just reminded me just seeing all the parents come together to support the kids and the guard. And I kind of was reading the objectives, and the school is a welcoming, safe environment that serves as a center for student learning activities, athletics, and performing arts, and it kind of just came full circle for me. So just want to give kudos to the new band teacher at Antelope High School, all his staff, and of course, you know, all of our district administration for supporting the performing arts, and I got to see it, so it was fun. Thank you.
Thank you. Marla.
So I attended the Parent Safety Forum at Grant Bay High School, and I was expecting to slip in and just be a little fly on the wall, a parent, and I was the only attendee. So it turned into a great opportunity to get briefed on our standard response protocols and all the codes our kids get through Catapult and the behavioral threat assessment process. And I really appreciate Julie Winkle and the SROs and the school psychologist that was there, and I had my personal time there. So, and I met with a number of school counselors this week, and I appreciated their time and the passion that they shared with me about their work, and I just appreciate speaking with everyone. I learned so much during that. Every time I meet with a new group, I learn so much, as Mel nods, and she knows what I'm talking about. And I was also happy to meet with John this week. I know he's prioritizing our work and research the board directed him to do last meeting, and to improve our transparency with our services and partnership with our families as we discuss parent and student rights or notifications, and as we work to promote the best academic emotional success of our children. And I look forward to seeing what Cabinet presents when they're able to in future meetings. Thank you.
Thank you. Julie?
So I wanted to thank two heroes, as well as Becky, who's not here right now because I got to visit West Park, and I got to do, this was a visit I did last year, and then I did it again today, which went to the ethnic studies class, and got to observe for about an hour or so. And the teacher, Malia?
Paloma Smith.
Where did I come with Malia?
That's her first name.
Oh, okay, thank you. Sorry. Taught the class. She teaches it well. It was a great, great group of kids. I don't know how big that was, maybe 30, 35 kids in the class. But one of the things, first I want to share with you what I thought really interesting. She asked the class, how many of you have been here for longer than 3 years? What, 5 hands went up in a class of 30? 35 or so. So that was really surprising, right? And so we got a chance to talk about, the influx of students and how much how fast West Park is changing. The other thing about the class that I found really great, and she's a great teacher. She does some great lesson plans. I don't know what all of them look like, but the one today is she was looking at kind of, what would I say, populations and regions. So she started with West Park, and she grew it to the city of Roseville, the state of California, and the United States. And so she had kids at each of these small work groups break up, and she gave them a sheet of paper, and they had to fill out what was so wonderful about West Park, Roseville, California, and the United States. And so I wanted to share a couple of those things that they shared. So one of the things, a very, very popular theme about what was great about West Park was that it was new. It had great teachers and has a wellness program. So that was a theme that came up at all of the students. One of the things that I'm going to save Roseville for last because I took some screenshots of that. The thing that they said about California was it's great weather and it's beautiful. And the thing that surprised me about the United States that was a popular theme was not only was it freedom, patriotism, but it was the national parks. And I thought from a student lens that was really cool, that it was national parks. But what I did want to share, and I'm going to be sharing this with our city council members as well as our city leaders, is what was said about Roseville. So I'm going to read just a couple of them. Roseville is a fantastic place to live because it's very safe, clean, educated, and welcoming. Roseville is a fantastic place to live because it is nice and safe. Roseville is a great place to live because there are a lot of different opportunities available and it's safe to live in. And then Roseville is a fantastic place to live because it's sunny and great and safe. And so there was also something in there about great schools. And when I talked to a couple of the students and asked them, why they came here or what their parents said or why they came here, and one of the students said to us, because everybody knows or everybody thinks and have heard how safe Roseville is and what good schools they have. So I just was like beaming today listening to all of that. I want to invite all of you to go and visit the ethnic studies class. I've been at the one at Antelope and I've been at the one at West Park, and the way the students are encouraged to learn and exchange ideas in a safe and very supportive environment is really, really good. And so I'm really pleased with being able to visit. Thank you for the time today. That's all I have.
Wonderful. Almost 9 years ago, I moved here because it was safe and it had great schools. Those are the two qualities that brought me and my wife and
Apparently the word's out.
yeah, my bunch of kids came with me. I've been a few places since our last meeting. I went to the Santucci Golf Tournament, which, as you know, raises money for scholarships for our students in our district. It was a great event with a lot of folks participating, and I saw a lot of raffle prizes being, a lot of tickets being bought and a lot of prizes being given out, so I'm sure we raised quite a bit of money for our students. Back on the 4th, I went to Granite Bay and spent some time with some parents who were new to the area who wanted to visit the school, and I went out there and met with them and showed them around and introduced them to a few folks. On the 5th, I had the opportunity to take our congressman, Kevin Kiley, wanted to see our schools in our district, so we went and visited Becky at West Park High School and did a full tour of the high school, talked to the government and leadership students, and he had a great engagement with the students, and they really appreciated the time that he took to visit with them. I was back out at Granite Bay on the 10th. There were a couple of students that wanted to meet and specifically talk about policies and things that they've been watching the board meetings online, and they've been trying to understand what we're doing and why we're doing it and how we're doing it, with some concerns around the directions that we gave at the last meeting related to parental notification. So we had a really good, productive meeting with those students. I met with them for pretty close to an hour. And then on the 11th, which I think was yesterday, I went out to Wood Creek and spent a couple hours there at Wood Creek. Most of these I went with two on these meetings. And we went out and talked to students in Link Crew, leadership, and then student government. So we spent time with all of them talking. We spent a lot of time about really helping them understand the role of the board versus the role of the superintendent versus the role of the schools and the principals and kind of where they fit in all that. And I think a lot of them were interested to see how they can engage in the process. So those were all good meetings that I had. And then right after this, I'm probably going to follow George over to Oakmont. We're going to watch the football game, right?
To Lincoln.
Oh, it's at Lincoln? Yes. I guess I'm going to follow you over to Lincoln. Wondering how they're having a football game. George runs the ozone, and I don't know how they're doing the game without you, so we'll get you out of here on time. I'll stop talking so that we can.
We don't have a student section today.
Well, so you're not going to rile them all up?
Oh, well, we got people out there.
Oh, okay, good, good.
It's not been
He's still got to
organized.
get out of here.
I end up spending most of my time watching what he's doing, so that's it. So I will pass it off to superintendent and the cabinet reports.
All right, first thing, I have communications, and it's the Placer County Office of Education has completed its review of the district's 23-24 board-adopted LCAP and budget, and everything's come back as approved, so I just wanted to note that. And then a couple of the topics. Pete, you alluded to Santucci. It's a great event, and I just wanted to make sure we thank, one, everybody. There's so much staff who goes and works that from our district, but really Joe and Judy. Judy's probably out in the hallway, but there's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff. Joe is tracking down money, shaking down people to pay, and then Judy gets all the logistics, the volunteers everywhere, and so there's a lot of work that happens. And then, again, on an annual basis, from Aldo, given his circumstances, still there behind the scenes, Kurt Euler, Carol Garcia, and Andrew a little bit, Andrew Tagg, but just teasing Andrew. But they make this happen, and it's over $25,000 a year in scholarships to our graduating seniors. So, you know, it's an afternoon of golf, but it's several months of planning, and the same people keep coming back to do it every year. And so I just wanted to make sure, publicly appreciate that work, especially Joe and Judy on our end. So. And then last but not least, I had the opportunity last week at the statewide CIF meetings in Los Angeles, and the CEO of Special Olympics was presenting and talking about unified sports, and was able to have a side conversation with him and told him what district I was from, and he goes, "You're one of our shining stars." If anybody ever gets a chance to go to any of our unified sports, it is about as pure and authentic of an experience as you'll have. It's pure joy and it's pure play that brings people together, and we have them at all of our sites. Craig, out in the other room over there, his staff does a tremendous job. Our athletic directors and our site admin pulling all that together. So all of our sites are considered champion sites for what they do in unified sports, and just real proud of them for that. And it was nice to know the CEO knows our district. So real proud about that. That's it.
Great, we'll work down the cabinet, starting with Joe. And
Yeah, I don't have much. John kind of stole my thunder with a lot of the stuff I was going to say about Santucci, but it is a really great program. I would encourage Jason, George, tell your friends about it, that we give away $25 $1,000 scholarships each year. And these aren't just scholarships for like the cream of the crop. They really look for well-rounded students in the community. And so it's a really great program that we give scholarships, or the committee gives scholarships each year. So just want to thank everybody for their help with that program, and that's it.
2.
All right, thank you, Pete. First, I want to say thank you to all of our Board of Trustees for allowing our high school principals to host you and me in learning deeply about what's happening within our school buildings. And just a huge shout out to our Board of Trustees and to let our families know as they're listening, and if they're listening, that we have Board of Trustees who deeply care, not just about governance, but about the experiences for our students and families. So thank you for coming along and asking us questions to continue to improve for our community. 2 specific items, and again, in support of our board objective of preparing all students for life, college, and career, we held our advanced co-teaching professional development sessions this week on Tuesday and Wednesday at the grounds, 8:30 to 3:30. Special thank you to our co-teaching TOSA, teacher on special assignment, Allison Carter, and our math TOSA, Marissa Noling, for their expert facilitation and around effective teaching strategies for leading a co-teaching classroom. We had approximately 50 participants over the course of 2 days, with Tuesday dedicated to supporting our English language arts and co-teaching pairs, and then with Wednesday dedicated to our mathematics co-teaching educators and gen ed educators. So thank you again to Allison and Marissa, but a huge special thanks to our teachers and Natalie here representing our teachers for coming out and staying intellectually curious. Second, this afternoon, we continued our training with Canvas for our teachers at our PDC Center, where over 30 teachers received training on the continued learning of Canvas from the instructor's perspective, including developing their course in Canvas. And as a reminder, in support of our board objective of working in partnership with our families and community, we will be hosting our first parent Canvas training next Tuesday, October 17th at 6 p.m. And again, if any of our parents are watching or are in the audience and would like to participate, please visit the RSP link at bit.ly/parent-RSVP. I'm going to spell that out, bit.ly/capital P for parent, ARENT, hyphen, capital R, capital S, capital V, capital P. And of course, a special shout out to our digital learning team in supporting our community with this important endeavor, including Mike Fisher, Sean Scott, and Matt Long. And that's it for me.
Thank you. Mel?
I just have a couple things, and they've all been talked about, so I'll be quick. But I'd like to thank Marla and Heidi for your time this week and meeting with some of our counselors. They really appreciate it, and we'd like to just continue the learning, all of us learning together. So thank you for that. I'd also like to acknowledge our director, Julie Winkle, and our SRO and psychologist team for hosting that first of 4. We have 4, that was only the first, parent safety forums. Marla, thank you for playing the role of a parent and getting just that one-on-one attention, or 4-on-1 attention, I think. You probably learned a lot.
Yes.
Our next forums will be on December 11th at Roseville High School. So I wanted to put that out there so everybody knew that our second of 4 will be at Roseville December 11th. And we encourage our community to attend and learn more about our standard response protocol, otherwise known as SRP, and our behavioral threat assessment and management protocol, otherwise known as BTAM. And then I'd also like to let everybody know that our next unified sports will be soccer, October 26th at Oakmont.
Thank you. Brad?
Just like to apologize for not being at the last board meeting, but Mr. Hasty and Mrs. Christensen and I were attending the Personnel Institute in Long Beach. It's some of the best professional development for HR administrators. Not only do we get to participate in a lot of sessions and we get some great information, but it's also an opportunity to network with other HR professionals from throughout the state, exchange ideas. And so really, truly appreciate the board and Superintendent Becker's continued support of us being able to attend the AXA Personnel Academy or Personnel Institute. And we'll also go to the Negotiators Institute in January as well. So thank you again.
All right. Student board reports. George?
All right. So
I mean, for Oakmont personally, it's kind of a dead spot because we had homecoming so long ago, and then our next big event is Culture Fest in November, so we're just trying to get an early head start on that. We had midterms last week, so grades reset. I mean, I did go to Antelope in West Park today to deliver their homecoming signs. We brought their student government class some treats. I got to talk with some of the students and teachers in both classes, including Jace. Next, Unified Sports. So Oakmont, as was talked about earlier, we are hosting the next Unified Sports. And with this, it's a big deal for us. We love Unified Sports at Oakmont. It's one of our favorite things. We have so many kids that want to do it each year. And we're kind of making like a whole day out of it on the 26th, as to where almost every single class, or we made it to where almost every single student is able to come watch a portion of the Unified Sports. We're going to have food trucks. We're going to have pre-ordered Chick-fil-A. We're going to have like, there's just a lot of involvement with the students. Student government is making signs for every single student that's participating, every single athlete that's participating, and we're trying to make it as inclusive as possible for everyone. Next up, we have our drama show that starts tonight at Oakmont, runs the next few days. Sports-wise, we have our game versus Lincoln tonight. We have a few senior nights coming up. For flag football and tennis senior night was tonight. Next, we have an LCAP meeting on October 18th, next Wednesday. Me and Jace are both part of that. And then also, if, Joe, if I could email you about the scholarship, because we can make Canvas for that and post it on the Oakmont Way to let students know about it, because that's something, I was actually talking to my dad about it earlier because he was at the golf, he was sick today. He was at the golf tournament. And we were talking about it a little bit. He said that they had lots of scholarships, so I'm kind of interested in getting the word out there to everyone. So that's all I got.
Thanks. Jace.
All right. So we just came off of midterms, and I'd say went pretty well. I think we handled it pretty good. To kick things off, this is our homecoming week. Our theme is Disneyland, as I said in our last board meeting. It's very hard to believe that tomorrow's already our parade, rally, and football game, and then the dance on Saturday. So these next 2 days they're going to be pretty crazy. The Spirit Week has been really fun. Our students and staff have put a lot of dedication, hard work towards making this homecoming live up to the expectations, and we're really looking forward to having an amazing homecoming tomorrow. Just this last week, as Pete just said, had the opportunity to tour U.S. Congressman Kevin Kiley at our campus, and he stopped by a couple of our classrooms, and students got to ask him some questions about his experience at Harvard and what it's like being a politician. I think it's safe to say that he was impressed with West Park as a whole. But besides that, that's really all that's been going on, just a lot of homecoming prep. Like I said, our football game tomorrow against Ponderosa. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Just looking forward to next 2 days with homecoming.
Do I hear there might be some fireworks at the game?
Yes, there will be fireworks and possibly some Jedi.
Very nice. All right. Very good. Thank you, gentlemen. Our next report, Natalie, RCA.
Good evening. I wasn't going to give a report, but I realized as I just sat through a meeting before I came to this one, I wanted to say thank you for the last meeting that we had. Is because as I'm talking to other people in our state and hearing the decisions being made at different school sites. I'm sorry, different school boards, and I wanted to appreciate the conversations and the people that came out to voice both sides. And I thought it went very well, and I thought people were, I mean, the normalcy of board meetings is very different anymore. But I really appreciate the ability to have the conversations, and looking forward to it, and looking forward to keep working through this and making wise decisions and thinking through it, not just being reactive. So I want to say thank you.
Thank you. All right. Next is public comment. I have one card. Is it Shanti? Come on up.
I didn't prepare a speech or anything.
That's okay. You can tell us whatever. You got about 3 minutes, so go ahead.
Okay. I really don't know where to start at, but I'll just start. I know that you asked me to send you an email about how I feel I've been retaliated on. I just feel like I needed more time to get things through as I'm starting to get more information. It was things I only disclosed to Mel Dobson that came back to me as a report to CPS. CPS. So I know for sure that it came from the staff of the school board. And I just felt like if you have a problem, come to me. Don't turn my family upside down. We're not a circus. We're not clowns. Come to me. Because if I disclose something only to you and that's what's been reported back to me, then I know it's you. And I feel like if you really cared about my son's mental health, you would have made the CPS call on the 12th, not 2-3 weeks later, once you realized I filed a petition with the Board of Psychology to investigate your psychiatrist so it can be a fair investigation, not through the school board, so Hastings or nobody else can screw the result. And it's just very disturbing that would come after a child because they made mistakes. Own your mistakes and move forward. Kids who have disabilities that's not visible deserve to have the same right of kids who have visible disabilities. They're all the same. They all make mistakes. And all I'm asking for them to stop coming after my family. I'm not coming for their family. Thank you.
Thank you. I don't have any other cards, and I don't see anyone else who'd like to speak. So we're going to move to our consent agenda. My understanding is there's a couple items we want to pull from the consent agenda. Is that correct? Kim had reached out about minutes, which, let me make sure we get.
Yeah, so 6.1, they weren't ready to go due to her illness. So we'll bring those back at the next meeting.
So we're going to pull 6.1, defer that to next meeting. Anybody else want to pull anything? Seeing none, do I have a motion on the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve.
We have a motion from Marla. Do I have a second? Thank you, Julie. Anyone have any comment on that? All right. All in favor, including our student board members? Oh, wait, we're going to do a roll call. George? Yes or no?
Oh, yeah.
Jace?
Yes.
Ludmilla?
Yes.
Marla? Me, yes. Yes. Okay, thank you. All right, we are now going to go to our action matters. Number 8.1 is the County Committee on School District Organization. And I got a stack of physical copies of what we have in our agenda, so let me pass these out. Does anyone from staff have anything to give us some preview on this?
I was just going to say there's going to be vacancies in District 2, as well as District 4 and District 5, and then the at-large. And so taking a look at those districts based on either one of your resident areas, if you fall in one of those vacancies, and or if you know somebody. It's up to the board to decide to nominate anybody to the committee. Typically, this committee is pretty docile, doesn't do much, except for when neighborhoods decide they want to join our district from another district, then it becomes very popular, which it is right now, with property transfer out in the west part of the city. So, yeah, it's really for the board to discuss and come up with any thoughts or ideas of anybody they want to have on there based on the areas. If I recall right, I think Pete and maybe Marla might be in areas that are vacant or will be. So if anyone is interested.
All right, and the way we do this is we nominate, and then it is voted on, that's the one that's voted on by the county committee, right? Ultimately?
Ultimately, yeah, yeah.
Which I sit on that.
Right.
Oh, there's two constants on that, the good one and the bad one. Well, she's the good one, obviously. All right, do you want to do it? Would you like to be nominated? Okay, we don't have to, because I'm sure other people will nominate.
Which districts are each of you?
I'm
So,
in 4.
She's in
I'd
4.
like to focus my time here.
I think I'm in 2, right? Yeah, I'm in 2.
So I'll nominate you, Pete. to
Great.
be For District 2. And I don't know what to do about District 4. I guess you just started saying no. Is that what you're saying? There's not very many meetings.
I have a lot of meetings here. I'm happy to give my time here. And I guess I have till the 27th. I could look into how much time commitment it is.
Yeah.
I don't want to, but.
Yeah, so do we have till the 27th to turn this back in?
Where do we have one more?
This form must be received by,
October 27th, yeah.
Oh, but we won't have,
26th,
Right.
will be on the 26th.
Yeah, so this is we don't have another meeting,
Oh, we
so.
don't have it. This is
Yeah.
our other meeting?
So if the board could say that we want to nominate one and a contingent nomination, contingent on acceptance, and then turn it in once we have a decision.
Yeah, I will do that. I'll nominate Marlon contingent of her decision and Pete for District 2 and 4.
It's typically just one meeting a year.
And we have the member at large, so if you'd like to join the party.
It's a long drive.
All right, just trying to stack the board here. Okay, so we'll do that. I think I have the official one that we fill out, because the one I'm going to just give this to Shannon. Pass that down. So I heard a motion for nominate me and contingent nomination for Marla.
if I accept, yes.
Okay, yeah, that's why it's contingent.
Okay, I know. I'm just really making sure it's.
It's
if I
double
accept.
contingent. All right. Do we have a second on that motion?
I'll second that.
All right. Any discussion? All right. All in favor, including you, signify by saying aye. Aye. None opposed, 4-0 with 1 absent. All right. We are now on to item 10-1, which is a core textbook first reading. Is that you two?
All right, thank you, Pete. As you mentioned, this is our first reading for our proposed core textbook for AP Comparative Government and Politics. I'll speak to our process, and then our excellent Executive Director of Curriculum and Instruction, Ms. Layton, who leads our SILT meetings, can help to answer any questions you might have. So as per education codes, the core materials for this new core textbook has been presented and recommended to move forward for board consideration through all of our school site councils, as well as at our last September 25th SILT meeting. The textbooks will be available at Roseville High School, where the course is currently offered, and will also be available for viewing at the district office.
All right. Does anyone have any questions? Seeing none, we have no action to take on this. It's just an informational item, so we'll move right on to staff comments. Anyone not get a chance to speak that would like to? Seeing none. Pending agenda items, you have a list in your packet, so the only thing left is for a motion to adjourn.
I'll move to adjourn.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor signify by saying aye. All right, we're adjourned. Thank you, everybody.